It's 12:59 and 55 seconds. Flip those headlights on. It's time for Nightdrive. Welcome to Nightdrive. I'm your host, Horace Wexler, and I may very well be the last voice you hear tonight. Nothing sinister about that, just wanted to wish a great good evening to you, wherever you are, to all you creeping creatures making your way through the dead of night. Maybe you're working the night shift over at St. Piscopo's Hospital, telling patients to pull down their trousers so you can get a better look at that bite. Or maybe you're down at the Explorers Club, sitting in a thick cloud of cigar smoke, spinning a yarn that would make a bespectacled man shout bully. Wherever you are, however you're listening, welcome. It's just you and me and all the other night owls of Fakahatchee. But one person who isn't joining us tonight, our Mayor Luis Vaminos, currently in the middle of a recall election and who suddenly went missing several days ago. Perhaps he is joining us, but if he is, we'll never know, unless he decides to call in. Now, missing is not a word I would throw around if Sheriff Bud Nichols wasn't already using it. If I were sheriff, I would probably say he's hiding. Our mayor has hidden multiple times in the past. I don't think this is a partisan thing to say, as both sides accused him of being a coward during the Million Mommies riot / violent brunch. At that time, we knew where he was. In his 8x8 solid steel room with the vault door closed, sitting next to his stock of emergency Prosecco and beef jerky. But this time, it seems like he's suddenly taken a masterclass in hiding, or at least watched a TED Talk called The Elements of Staying Hidden. All of his usual haunts are and remain Vaminos free. A thorough sweep of the mayor's mansion has turned up nothing except an expensive mess. All his cars are there. Likewise, he hasn't been seen spectating at the Boomer Brawl or eating tacos in his VIP booth at Culo de Pollo. I'm told they checked his office at City Hall as a Hail Mary just to make sure he wasn't there. He wasn't. So where is the mayor? Sheriff Bud Nichols has agreed to join me by phone as a guest tonight to give us an update on the case. And after we talk to him, I know I'll want to hear all of your thoughts and opinions. So pick up the phone and give me a call at 305-209-9686. We're going to get the sheriff on the line, and then we'll be back with more Night Drive right after this message from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Robard Crumbler of Crumbler Farms. I'm a religious man, and the end times is upon us. But you don't have to starve while you wait and become some sort of withered mummy to be excavated by a British fella. Crumbler Farms is an essential grocery hub. And to top it all off, we're still running deals. Troilet Runch is just 67 cents a box. Put it in your emergency satchel. Hey, say hello to Cocaine Sprouts. They're just $2.59 a pound. What's that? The woman's hungry? Shut her mouth up by filling it with a ravishing broached prolos, cooked up just the way she says to. They're just 67 cents a bundle. Hunker down right by stewing some squacked cankelroni with morch globules topped off with spewed blitch. We make it fresh in a deli every day. Quarantiner, I barely need her, because I flipped my lid for tousled plaintiffs. 2 for $5. Keeping clean? Splash your hands with Fleesh New Baxiteron syrup. Just 37 cents a pumpin'. We got the household goods too, like bum wads, dirty borks to roll. Crumbler Farms, we're the most essential business closest to the airport.
Welcome back to Night Drive. If you're just tuning in, we're about to talk to Sheriff Bud Nichols about the disappearance of the mayor. But right after we talk to the sheriff, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. 305-209-9686. Is he on the... Okay. Sheriff, are you there?
Hey, how are you, Horace? It's Sheriff Bud Nichols.
Sheriff, how are you?
Oh, pretty good, given the circumstances. You know, we've got this missing persons investigation. Mayor Vaminos, haven't seen or heard from him in about a week. And you know Mayor Vaminos. When's the last time he went that long without running his mouth about something?
Well, as everyone in Fakahatchee knows, he loves to be in front of the camera, except when things are going wrong. but nothing's really seemed wrong lately. So it has been very unusual.
Yes, well, so that's why obviously we're very concerned about that, because it's not like our mayor to go so long without talking, without addressing cameras, without passing some kind of new and weird legislation. Now, I do want to be clear. This is not a crime or a murder investigation. This is strictly a missing persons case as of today. I do want your listeners to know that if they do have any information at all, to please call the sheriff's department, and we have a tip line there set up, and we'd love to have any information that might help.
What steps are you taking to find the mayor?
For the time being, we're just kind of checking out Mayor Vaminos' favorite spots around town. He likes to hang out down there at the Culo de Polo.
Right. I mean, who doesn't love eating tacos down at the Culo de Pollo? Am I right?
Yeah. And we know he's a regular down there. He hasn't placed an order there in a while. None of those boys down at the Explorers Club have seen him. We're kind of running in circles here.
Has he placed a takeout order from Culo de Pollo?
They hadn't heard from him at all.
And I read in the Fakahatchee Gazette that you guys had checked the mayor's office and the mayor's house, including his
we checked
room.
His office. Obviously, those are the first places you're going to look. The mayoral mansion, very nice house. You've got a little some kind of panic room, emergency vault. It's full of beef jerky and snacks and stuff, but nothing really that he could have lived on for very long. So that's those places check out so far. We got nothing.
It seems like you've looked a number of places. Do you think he's still in town?
Well, it is quite possible that he skipped town, but don't know where he would have gone. He mostly likes to stay here in town where he's something of a celebrity. I know he's not popular with everyone, but to his supporters, he gets to feel like a big man. I don't make my opinions on the man known. He is technically my boss.
Well,
my employer.
You're a public servant. You can't get political.
Right.
Or can you? I don't know. I'm not a public servant. That's just something I've always assumed.
I'm not supposed to talk about these things, but I think you know where I stand, Horace.
Sheriff, it's been a week. And nobody's seen him. He's not getting takeout orders. He's not in any of his usual haunts. I'm trying to be delicate about it, but when do you cross over into that territory where, like, maybe the mayor's not alive?
Oh, yeah, he's probably not alive. I really doubt we're going to find him alive, if I'm being honest, Horace.
Oh, really?
I mean, I never thought that I would miss that potato-looking SOB. I can say that because I don't think he's listening to this.
If you don't think he's alive, do you think there was like an accident? Do you think that do you think he was killed? Was it foul play? A robbery?
There's a number of possibilities. Obviously, we hope to find him alive, and I can only say so much. We are discussing an ongoing investigation, but for now, it is officially a missing persons case. But let's be real honest here. You think we're going to find this guy alive? No, I think it's more likely that we're looking for a body somewhere at this point. Now, there's a number of things that could have happened. He was not a popular man with everyone around town. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he was in the middle of a big recall election. I think most of the town would have just assumed that he was hiding if he wasn't campaigning. But it clearly...
Right. This would not have been a good time for him to be laying low. So I don't think he's laying low of his own volition.
It's still a missing persons case, as you said. Are you getting any sort of like gut feelings that it was an accident?
We do have a few people who I do need to stress are not suspects in this investigation. They are strictly persons of interest at this time that if any of them are listening at the moment, we'd love to sit down and chat with you, get some things cleared up. Shelby Higginbottom, over at the Gazette, she's been openly critical of the mayor's policies for months now. I know she is not a big fan. And I think anyone who's reading her pieces probably is not a fan of the mayor either.
I mean, there was that piece a while ago that was, I hate to say that it was written to incite violence, but it definitely had a tone that was unusual. Do you think it was like one of her readers?
I think she was going as close as she could without getting in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trying to hold the legal high ground while still,
Well, I'm
trying to hold the legal high ground.
Yeah, she can't say in the paper, go beat up the mayor, but she's a professional writer. She knows how to get it across.
Yeah. Who else are the other people of interest here?
Well, this fella's he's a person of interest in just about anything weird that comes through town. But Alleyway Steve, we discussed the gentleman.
Well, he's always a person of interest.
Last time I appeared on your program. Yes, a person of interest in many senses.
He's the most interesting person in Fakahatchee is probably a polite way to say it.
Yes, yeah, real interested person, Alleyway Steve. Well, I mean, he's been running around town lately. Last time I saw him, he was talking about he thought the mayor was using trained pigeons to spy on him.
Interesting.
Yeah, how about that?
Is that possible?
If I could get my head around whether or not that's possible, that would mean that I was able to think like Alleyway Steve, and I'm proud to say I am not able to.
That's a terrifying thought.
I don't know where. Right. I mean, so if we, if we find the mayor's body with bite marks on it, Steve just became even more of a person of interest because we know about his proclivities out there by the dumpster.
God, if Steve starts biting people to death, I think that is gonna be a corner that nobody expected him to turn. Like a little nibble was always did Steve get you? Yeah, Steve got me, but like, did Steve get the mayor? That's frankly terrifying.
It does seem a little far-fetched. I think that's usually out of Steve's repertoire of weirdness. He's not. That's usually about as far as his violence goes, the biting. But hey, you never know. And I won't lie, it wouldn't bother me to get the chance to finally put Steve away. But that's there's something called due process, and we'd have to look into that. But now here's an interesting one. Duck Winters over there with the Gator Farms.
Yeah, Duck Winters, of course.
Yeah, I know he's not much of a fan of Mayor Vaminos because he's the meat mayor. You hear about this meat mayor?
The meat mayor. Oh, yeah. As part of his Crock'N'Roll celebration every year. Yeah,
well, Duck Winters at the most recent Crock'N'Roll, he's fed a bunch of gators a man made of meat that he had made. He calls it the meat mayor. He fed it to them gators right in front of everybody.
Like a meat effigy.
He made a Vaminos. I mean, I didn't see it. I don't know how accurate it was, but he did call it a meat mayor. And I think that shows a little bit of nefarious intent. I think it's reasonable to say. Again, Duck Winters, not a suspect, just a person of interest. I know he does have a couple of those real big old industrial meat grinders out there at his facility that we wouldn't mind taking a look at. But
absolutely,
that's just we're spitballing here. We're just checking everything,
Yeah, I didn't even know he had. Pardon the pun. I didn't know he had beef with the mayor. So that would be really interesting. But I know that he's always a first suspect whenever anyone goes missing because of all those gators behind that fence.
Yeah, and that's a tricky thing is, because at that point, if the mayor was fed to an alligator, then we're not going to find the body, as we discussed last time with trying to find the rest of the man who owned the leg that Alleyway Steve was displaying. Because an alligator will digest the whole body.
Is there anything the general public can do to help find the mayor? I know that we're not all fans of him, but...
Well, yeah, we want to get him back because even if you're not a supporter of the mayor's, you want to do this thing the right way. You want to bring him back. You want to keep him in office until we have that recall election. And get them out the right way if we're going to give them out.
I mean, should we? You guys have the tip line. Are you guys offering a reward? Is there any reward for people who might have information on the mayor's whereabouts? Or
well, there is no official reward in place yet. We are working on that because obviously we would like to provide incentive for anyone who does have any information that might help us locate the mayor. But I do, again, encourage any and all listeners who have anything. And, you might not think that what you know would actually be relevant or helpful or important enough. But that's for us to decide. It's on us to look into everything, gather all the information that we can.
Got it. Well, I'm going to use this show as like a little bit of a tip line. So if you're listening right now and you think you may know where the mayor is, call us and let us know where you saw the mayor last or where you think you saw the mayor last. Hopefully, Sheriff, this will help you, you boys in green, find this mayor.
Oh, please do, because I will continue listening. I got my notepad at the ready, so I'll be able to take down any information anyone else calls in with. But again, there's also our tip line for after you go off the air, Horace, because people still need to call.
Yeah, if it was somebody saw the mayor during the day, I only have the night owls here. Maybe I can talk to Tiffany Bunzel and see if she can help coordinate this so that we get a real community effort going.
Oh yeah, get the word out.
Sheriff, I know this is sort of a hard spot for you, but I'm going to continue the show. Feel free to tune in and keep listening. Hopefully, we'll have some tips.
Oh yeah, we appreciate the help. Any information we can get is going to be helpful, no matter what.
Well, great. Well, Sheriff, thank you, and we'll let you get back to the case, and we're going to get on with the show.
Okay, you have a good evening, Horace.
You too, Sheriff. Have you seen the mayor? Let's help our friendly local sheriff out. Give me a call at 305-209-9686 if you've seen the mayor, or, if you have any information about the mayor's disappearance. We'll decide if it's pertinent. Let's go over to line 4. Line 4. Go ahead, caller.
You know where the mayor is?
No, the mayor is currently missing. We're asking people if they've seen him.
Yeah, I seen the mayor down on Fernando Street. Except he was wearing another man's face.
We're gonna go to a commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Chuck Robinson, the current champion of Wednesday night's Boomer Brawl. Some of y'all saw my big win when I hurled Tony Tercel into the open grease trap and nearly made his children orphans. I know what it feels like to lose a loved one. Sometimes in the alley, I'll get hungry because my wife is dead and can't make me a sandwich. And sometimes I want something that reminds me of Arby's. Almost exactly like an Arby's and yet legally distinct from being an Arby's. And that's why I step in from the alley to eat at Hank's old Arby's that's not really an Arby's. I'm chowing down on that cheddar and beef, or nibbling on a smoked yurt brisket, or getting a bizarre fresh sandwich with that spicy horse and around sauce. It's as good as my wife used to make, and it's the fuel my fists need to solve my sadness and resulting midlife crisis. Come on down and tell them you're a good friend of Chuck's. Not a great friend, but a good friend.
If you're just tuning in, welcome back to Nightdrive. I'm Horace Wexler, and tonight I'm taking your calls, 305-209-9686. If you have any tips or just think you might have an idea of where the mayor is, go ahead, pick up the phone, dial our number, and give me a call. Just like this fellow right here. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Horace, how you doing? This is Luis Sanchez.
Luis, my man, you got any hot leads for us over here?
Hey, man, y'all looking for Mayor Vaminos, right?
Yeah, that's right, Luis.
About a week ago, right? I'm pretty sure I saw a guy look just like Mayor Vaminos, wearing a black hoodie, coming out of that truck stop, you know, the one off the interstate.
Uh-huh.
and he had his arm full of skin mags. Can you believe it?
Whoa, why doesn't he just get a subscription or go online? That's crazy. I don't believe it.
Man, I couldn't believe it either. I was going to go up and ask him. I was going to go up and yell, "Hey, Mayor Vaminos," and see if he turned around. But my shoelace was untied, and I slipped and fell.
Was that over at the Cum and Pump? Because their floors are always surprisingly slippery.
Wait, my lawsuit with the gas station is pending, so I can't talk about it.
Yeah, okay, duly noted.
Anyway, Horace, see you later, buddy. Catch you on up there.
All right, let's go over to line two. Line two, how are you, caller?
Well, hey, Horace, I'm fired up. It's Duck Winter.
Hey, Duck, how are you? Thanks for calling in.
I just got a whole sack of BS laid on my porch telling me I was a person of interest with this whole mayor kabobble. And let me tell you, first, I thought it was a good thing because I was like, well, yeah, I'm an interesting person. I own 2 gator farms, okay, successful gator farms that cater to the community. But then he told me what that actually meant. And I was like, what now? And, I'm just like, why do people always look at the guy who owns the gator farm as the person who maybe fed the mayor to gators?
I can obviously tell you that you're heated here, Duck. When Sheriff Bud Nichols was talking, he did say that you weren't a suspect, but then added on yet. So you are still just a person of interest. So I don't know that you need to be quite so heated at this point.
Well, no. They say something like, oh, he's not a suspect. He's a person of interest. Well, you know what a person of interest is? It's suspectable, okay? So in my mind, they're the same damn thing.
Everyone has a reason to dislike the mayor, but there are a few people who have very strong motives for wanting to see this mayor not even go through the recall election, but just disappear completely.
Yeah, I kind of think that this whole thing is like the movie Clue. I feel like everyone in the town killed the mayor, I mean, listen, the guy's not popular, okay? Vaminos, you know what that means in Spanish?
No, I unfortunately don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, neither do I. But, man, I was just fired up at the guy because a couple of years ago, I went to one of them city council meetings and I said, hey, I think we should all cut down the stop signs. Let's cut down the stop signs. We can get to where we want to go faster. And the mayor, get this, said no. Right then and right there, I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill him one day. But, I mean, I didn't. I mean, that's just something I say for fun.
After that point, though, you have to admit that you did start making giant mayors out of meat.
Oh, the meat effigies? I mean, listen, that was Horace, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm an artiste. I'm a sculptor, and I sculpt with what I have. Okay, now some painters like to use paint. Now I like to use meat because I feel like that is a medium I feel comfortable working with. So that was done out of love. I mean, that was done to honor the mayor into position. Okay, and yeah, we fed it to the gators at the Crock'N'Roll, but I mean, what are you going to do? Meat spoils. Okay, I'm not going to waste a bunch of perfectly good meat. I'm not made of money. Wish I was.
Well, I think that maybe the sheriff just takes some umbrage at the point that you also passed out flyers that said, see the mayor get his due. And you charged people to watch the quote unquote meat mayor get eaten.
Yeah, go meet the meat mayor. I mean, I thought I was actually really proud of that pun. I thought it was pretty good. But I mean, I can't just give it away, Horace. Meat costs money, okay? I mean, I don't know, maybe you can being on the radio making radio money, but I'm just making gator money, okay? And so I'm going to need to charge people to meet the meat mayor, okay? And come see what the mayor get his due. Yeah, the mayor is due to meet a lot of people. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean, if you want to project all this crazy hippy-dippy 5G Wi-Fi conspiracy BS, go right on and have it. I'm just an American trying to make a living in a little place I call America. I should put that on a T-shirt.
That would be a very popular T-shirt, I think. A lot of Americans around here.
Damn straight.
Duck, can I ask you a question? Now, Sheriff Bud Nichols brought this up a little earlier. Obviously, you've got meat grinders on the property. I got to grind at least meat. One or two. Would you allow the sheriff to take a look at them?
When you say meat grinders, are you referring to my helping hand, Danny?
Well, I know he's
homosexual, and that boy tears it up. Okay, I don't know if you ever met Danny. He's muscular. He is stacked like a rack of magazines. Okay?
Is he the guy that's always out there and that's like glistening in the sun?
Yeah, he kind of has a mist about him. It's amazing. I mean, that boy is an attractive man. I mean, I'm not gay, but Shit, that boy is an attractive man.
So shiny.
I mean, if he wants to take a look at that meat grinder, he can go right ahead. Now, my other meat grinders, I mean, yeah, he can take a look at them. Just kind of give me a heads up when he's coming by.
Got it.
I want to make sure they're all ready.
You don't think the sheriff would find anything suspicious or anything that would maybe
gives me a heads up?
Well, that's just polite. I'm sure the sheriff would give you a heads up if he was going to come by and take a look at them.
If my meat grinders are meat grinders of interest or whatever.
If you, as you say, are not responsible for the mayor's disappearance or possibly the mayor's murder, is there anybody that you can think of in town that would maybe have a stronger motive?
Yeah, I think it would probably be the sheriff.
Interesting. Elaborate on that.
Because who would suspect the sheriff? Or, to be honest, I mean, have you seen the mayor? I mean, it could also just be like heart disease. I mean, the man is not a healthy man.
He does look a little bit like a potato if it sprouted legs.
Yeah, you put a broom next to him, he'd be doing an impression of the number 10, okay? Now, when I make my meat effigies, if I looked at the mayor and I looked at the meat mayor, I'd be like, which one's which? Really? I mean, they're not that far different, okay? I mean, they both look like hunks of just meat.
Well, there were those allegations that you had stolen a portion of the mayor's clothes at one point to put on the meat mayor.
Listen, I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm not going to have the meat mayor be naked, okay? I mean, there's children who come to the gator farm. I got to hide his, unmentionables, and listen, I'll be honest, when I'm the one who sculpts this thing, I make sure that this thing is anatomically correct, okay?
You sculpt his meat?
Oh, yeah. I got an Italian sausage hanging right off the front there, which I hope he's okay with because the last name is Vaminos. So, I'm just not trying to step on anybody's toes, but, Italian sausage is what we got to deal with. So, I couldn't get any chorizo. So, got that there, but I still want to put pants on the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, that happened so long ago, Horace. That's all water under the Gator Bridge at this point. I mean, who knows what said what, where, when, why, how. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I guess my question for you is, would you want to see the mayor turn back up?
Of course I would want to see the mayor turn back up.
Because I thought I might get you there with that question for a second.
No,
like not to do any gotcha journalism, but I thought maybe I would get you.
Horace, just because, I have a Crock'N'Roll every single year with the meat mayor, which let's say he doesn't turn up, we're still going to move forward with the Crock'N'Roll. There's still going to be a meat mayor, that you can meet. I've had my problems with the guy, but I don't want him to end up disappeared. I'm hoping that he really just kind of drove up to like South Carolina to get away from his family. You know what a real man does. And he didn't, I don't know, be fed to a bunch of gators or something crazy. That would just be the worst.
Can I ask you a quick question, Duck? And this is a little off point, but obviously the recall election is happening. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with that. But odds are
that happening. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh wow.
Odds are we will see a new mayor. Are you going to continue sculpting the old mayor out of meat, or will you take the new mayor's physique into account in next year's Crock'N'Roll?
I want to meet this new potentially meat mayor and see the cut of his jib and see what his policies are when it comes to gator farms in our area. And then I could give you an answer to that question.
And one last question, and I know we kind of touched on it a little bit. Is there anybody that you think would benefit, besides everyone, from the mayor being killed? Like, specifically benefit?
Oh, specifically benefit? I'd say me, you, the citizens, Danny, because the mayor always hits on him and he gets real uncomfortable by it. Like it
interesting. How well does Danny know the mayor?
I mean, he just the mayor likes to take a hose to him sometimes. Danny goes, "Stop it," and that's about it. I don't really want to get involved in the personal lives of my employees. Or professional.
Is Danny like, "Oh, stop it," or is Danny like, "No, stop it"?
It's one of those things. It's like a will they, won't they thing. It might be a little bit both.
Got it.
Stop it.
So there's some consent in there.
Yeah, I'd say there's a little bit of consent in there, but not enough to keep doing it.
Got it.
So listen, I think when it comes to the mayor, his disappearance, I don't want to be rude or crude, but I could say it would literally benefit everybody. Like, I don't want him to be dead, but I gotta say, if he does end up turning up dead, man, it's just going to be a real boon for our local economy.
Well, Duck, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us tonight and calling in. Obviously, I hope you stay a person of interest or an interesting person and don't upgrade from that at any point.
Hey, listen, Horace, I want to thank you for speaking to me. Sorry I came in hot. I'm always going to be an interesting person, okay? And you know what? If you want to make things interesting, make sure to come down this Tuesday to the Gator Farm for 2-for-1 Tuesdays.
Oh, nice.
2 people getting in for the price of 1. Now, don't raise your hand if you think that's a good deal. Okay, you're all on board. We'll see you on Tuesday.
I love a good deal. All right, thanks, Jack. Before we get back to your calls and opinions, I'd like to take just a few moments to read some of the Fakahatchee community announcements. Love the oompa of a good German polka? Need an older man to take care of you? Call me up and I'll be your sugar oompapa. You must be a comely maidchen with hair of flaxen pulled back in long braids, willing to sit on my lap while I play the tuba and sexually... Okay, this is... Did you screen these?
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, I can kind of tell. Okay, the rest of these seem fine. The Fakahatchee Trolley Friends will be meeting this month to put your donations into action as they begin working on restoring the beautiful Series 2 streetcar they've named Desire. Everyone's encouraged to join us and help bring a little of our history back to life. So if you'd like to help, please come to St. Stephen's at 7 a.m. Sunday and bring some respirators, gloves, coveralls, paintbrushes, wide and narrow bristled, a shop vac, a steel-toothed bristle brush, a Reggie 6-pin clasp, 2 8.5-inch long carriage bolts, and a Coolidge butt hinge, and a pizza to share. This is per person. Come on down and let's bring some old-style glamour back to our town. The Fakahatchee Owls Club invites all children to join us for the Swamp Trout Derby at McMurray's Pit this Saturday at 5 a.m. Prizes will be awarded to amateur anglers for Catch of the Day, Largest, Most Beautiful, Least Anxious, and technically an alligator gar. Trophies will be awarded to all the winners. Entry fees are only $10. Worms and rods will be provided. Psst, hey kid, want to see a dead body? Psst, hey adult, do you want to also? Well, the coroner's office is celebrating their annual Visitors Day this Wednesday. Drop in, feel how cold it is, weigh a brain, learn how to spell vivisection, and more with Fakahatchee coroner Crick Rongley. Mr. Rongley would love to share all of the gory details with you and show you all the body parts he keeps bottled up in jars. All right, I still want to hear from you. Yeah, you, right there. Call me at 305-209-9686 and share your opinions, just like whoever this is right here on line 3. Line 3, go ahead, caller.
Hey, Horace.
Hey, who am I speaking
Hello? Hey, this is Miles.
to? Hey, Miles, how are you this evening?
I'm good. I saw the mayor last week.
Oh, did you? Do you have any sort of tips for the sheriff? I know the sheriff was looking for any leads that might be out there. He's hoping somebody saw something.
Well, I saw him off the highway, but then, I thought it was the mayor, but then I kind of was looking at it a little closer, and then I realized it was just a billboard, and the mayor's picture was on it.
Got it.
So, I'm not sure if that counts.
Less useful than you would think, Miles.
I mean, I still saw him, though. That was your question, so I'm just giving you an answer. You don't have to feel weird about it.
Yeah, that's great. Miles, thank you so much for calling in. We hope you'll call back in the future, and we'll see you next time on Nightdrive. Hey, Horace Wexler here. As a radio host, I know what a hassle it can be to try to find quality information, especially if I'm buying or selling an otter. With over 12 species, it's easy to get overwhelmed comparing all of the different features. That's why I, Horace Wexler, turned to Otter Trader. If you're in the market for a new otter and you're not sure what breed to get, Otter Trader breaks down all of the different kinds with an easy-to-read cross-comparison. They'll make sure you have all the information you need to get top dollar when you trade in a romp of otters, and they have a fantastic marketplace that'll help you find a used otter at a great price. Their innovative website makes buying and selling otters, both river and sea, fast, intuitive, and reliable. Find out just how many clams your sea otter needs at Otter Trader. I know some of you can't make it to the phone to call in tonight. Maybe you've got a baby gently slumbering in your arms, or maybe your jaw is wired shut because Chuck Robinson gave you the hands behind Hank's old Arby's. Well, some of you have reached out through our social media to share your tips for Sheriff Bud Nichols and your opinions. Bish O'Rourke, 27, tweeted at us at Nightdrive FM to say, "Love that Sheriff Nichols. I'd do anything to help that man after he helped deliver my baby underneath the NASCAR bleachers. So I'm driving my truck down the highways and byways and shining a flashlight on the side of the road to see if I see any corpses." Thanks, Bish. Jebby Ann Groshin hit up our Facebook page at facebook.com/NightDriveFM to say, "I saw the mayor leaving a party with some of his friends. He must have been underdressed, though, because they were all wearing suits and he was just in Bermuda shorts. It also looked like he had had too much to drink because he could barely walk. So it's a good thing he has such good friends to help him into that black Suburban." Aren't good friends great, Jebby? And Scooby Booby Boobs, tagged at Nightdrive FM Insta in a photo. It looks like it's the Shoney's, but there's a lot of dark sedans and lights around. A lot of people dressed in white overalls. I don't think this has anything to do with the mayor, but thank you, Scooby. Let's get back to your calls and opinions right now. In fact, let's go right over to line 3.
Hey there, Horace. This is James L. Comey.
Hey, James, let me know where you think you've seen the mayor recently.
Mayor Vaminos was at a Little League team that actually pays us to allow us to sponsor them.
Huh.
Vaminos began telling these 8-year-olds just how stupid their parents were for entertaining this recall election.
Well, when he's not hiding, he's always politicking.
He told them he was the greatest mayor ever and has handled the Mommy March beautifully.
Yeah, a lot of burned down businesses would disagree, right, James?
And the school bus sales put a lot of money into the town's coffers, if you know what I mean.
Huh.
He told the kids he's a very stable genius, the best mayor that has ever been or ever will be.
Well, he's a worse mayor than Mayor Ladybug, and she was a literal dog. Man, the 60s sounded weird. Well, hopefully this will help the sheriff out. Thanks for calling in, James.
Well, thanks, Horace, and I hope you find him soon.
All right, let's go over here to line 3. Line 3, go ahead, caller.
Hello, Horace. How are you, son?
I'm great this evening. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, well, this is Father Jonah Likely. I thought you'd recognize my voice.
Well, I'm not much of a religious man, Father.
Oh, sure. Neither was I until the good Lord found me.
Where's your parish, Father?
Oh, we're down there on Francisco Street. You know, the Spanktuary.
Father, I'm getting some interference or something on the call.
Oh, hang on. Let me shut my office door here. We got a big fat mass going on tonight, and the dance floor is turned. The Bible verses are flowing, and so is the Hennessy.
For anyone who hasn't been there, the Spanktuary was voted Florida's sexiest church 6 years running. Famous, of course, for their big fat mass. Why are you calling in tonight, Father?
Well, you know, I am so disheartened to hear about our poor missing mayor. You know, he's a very prominent member in our parish, and we're very worried about him.
I bet.
And I'm worried about him personally.
Oh,
sure.
Personally?
Oh, well, yes. You know, we're quite close. You know, I've known him for a very long time. And, you know, I saw him, not too long ago over there in the champagne room, and he seemed rattled. He seemed worried. It seemed like, you know, he was always looking over his shoulder, you know, even when it was just Sister Mary behind him.
Right. How often did the mayor come to your quote unquote church?
Oh, you know, he came, you know, for mass, and of course the free buffet that we would have on Tuesdays. So, you know, a couple times, you know, he'd come in and he would do a few Hail Marys, and then he would, you know, tip very well. When
he came in to the Spanktuary, did he give you any sort of indication of what he was afraid of, like what he was looking over his shoulder to see? Or
well, I mean, I can't say too much, Horace. You know, there's a bit of a you know priest confidentiality as well as the entertainers in the room. We all keep mum on certain things. But what I can tell you is that he always came in with a small suitcase, like he was ready to go at a moment's notice.
So he would show up to your big fat mass with a bug out bag.
He would, yes. Now, he came in and we just, assumed that maybe it was a briefcase full of donations, either for the church or the girls. But he would never open it, and it was handcuffed to his wrist, which I also thought was peculiar. But then again, this is not a house of judgment. We're pretty cool. We're pretty cool about it.
The Spanktuary is sort of an odd place. I have to ask for the people listening at home: Are you guys an actual church?
Oh my goodness, yes. For years I spent toiling in just a regular house of God. I'm doing quotes. Of course, you can't see that, but it just seemed like every week it was the same thing. The same people would come into the booth and they would say the same sins. Even the women were finding Jesus quite the looker. They would get thirsty about that crucifix. So I just figured at some point, you know what? Let's just let them be human under the house of God where it's safe. I mean, here they can dance, drink, flirt, whatever. I don't ask questions. And as they leave, they go through the confession booth. God wins. They win. I get to watch. They're on the streets clean as a whistle. And now here we are 5 years later, and I've got Florida's sexiest church, and I'm quite proud of it.
I see. So you actually do confession there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's actually attached to the exit door. You cannot leave the church without confession. I'm hardened on that rule. I'm a cool father, but I'm a strict daddy.
I want to go back to Mayor Vaminos here. This sounds like maybe one of his haunts that maybe sheriff wasn't aware of, or I certainly wasn't aware of what a regular churchgoer he was.
Oh, very religious.
Did he give you any idea what was in that briefcase?
Well, again, in total confidence, did he open it? At one point, he cracked it a little bit. Yes, but it's like Pulp Fiction, you just kind of have to make a guess at what was in there, because I can't tell you. But what I can say is that it's possible that he is in some serious imminent danger. And a few times I saw some, very stone-faced gentlemen in the church wearing sunglasses, did not even look, not even glance at our wonderful entertainers, who are all legal age, might I mention, all orphans, saved, by the way.
So all the girls and boys with their clothes off were all orphans?
Yes, they were all orphans.
I mean, I don't want to lose the plot here, but is that part of like your mission? Is that some form of like church outreach?
Yes. We try to give the unfortunate a place to call home, a place where they can get a hot meal, where they can appreciate the Lord and mankind, and then of course have mankind appreciate them in turn. It's honestly a beautiful thing.
Okay.
I've actually adopted them all. They're actually all my children now.
Oh, like your literal children.
Oh, yes. Oh, I am their literal father. Yes, at this point. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. They call me Father Daddy.
All right. Little weird, but to each his own, father. I'm not about to criticize a man of the cloth for how he lives, or the special relationship he takes with God.
Well, if you wouldn't want to go to hell, would you?
No. So we know that the mayor's a prominent member. We know that he was being followed. Sheriff Bud Nichols has said at the beginning of this program that he doesn't think that the mayor is going to turn up alive. Okay. Do you have any indication or any tips that you think would help the sheriff find the mayor? I mean, instead of calling in the tip line, you can just give them straight to us, and we'll make sure they get passed along. And
oh, well, I've been praying long and hard on this. My knees are quite sore from all the praying I've been doing over this. Mm-hmm. I wish I had some solid information to give, but of course, certain things are just between me, the mayor, God, Sister Cinnamon, Sister Coco, Sister Cristal, Sister Roxy. And Sister Charity. Can't forget about Sister Charity. I don't think there's nothing else I can really say about the poor soul other than we're all praying for him. We hope he'll turn up soon. And, we're actually putting out his favorite meal every buffet, just in the hopes that maybe to entice him to come out, or maybe, I guess it's just wishful thinking, I suppose.
Right.
But I certainly hope that he is on the earthly plane. Although if he is not, I can vouch for his soul. It is clean. It is pure. So he will be with our Heavenly Father in that, great stage in the sky, as they say.
Is there anybody else from around Fakahatchee, maybe prominent members of your church that are regulars?
Oh, sure. Oh, everybody comes to the church. Except you, though. I don't think I've ever seen you there, which, I have some coupons that I could give you if you ever want to come in.
Well, look, I do love a good coupon.
Who doesn't? But, every Thursday we got DJ Prophet. He plays a great set, a lot of, really good Christian house music. You've never praised Christ with dubstep like this before. It's quite impressive.
Is there anything else that you would like Fakahatchee to know about your church or about the mayor in general?
Well, I think we shall be patient. During these troubling times, it certainly helps to turn to the Lord. And what better place to turn to the Lord than the Spanktuary? Because here there is no judgment. Here, when you see someone turn the other cheek, you get to see their full bottom. And you can watch them shake what the good Lord gave them. Hallelujah. But here it's all about absolution and having a good time as well. I mean, just because I'm a man of the cloth doesn't mean that I'm not, down to play. I'll do a jig. I'll play gym rummy. I do all sorts of things. And we have it all here, Monday through Saturday, but not Sunday. That's God's day.
Father Jonah, if I know this is really unusual for the program, but could you maybe lead us in a typical prayer that maybe you say at the Spanktuary?
I would love that, Horace. I would absolutely love that. Let us all bow our heads, shall we? Lord, we, your humble patrons, who shell out mostly dollar bills, ask you to please keep a watchful eye over our lovely mayor. Just embrace him with your studly body and hold him close to your heart, which beats like... And if he is hurt, Lord, if he is in trouble, may you guide him to the holy light of the Spanktuary, where we may take him in and coddle him. And we bring him back to the champagne room where he may once again take communion. And may the Lord guide us and hold us next to his rock-hard abs and nips. In his sexy name, amen.
Amen. Well, Father, thank you so much for calling in tonight to share what you know about the mayor. Hopefully, this will help Sheriff Bud Nichols find the mayor. I know, we're all a little angry with the mayor currently, and he's in the middle of this recall election, but I think we would all like to see that done properly and not, find the mayor's corpse. I think I could just put a period there. Thank you very much, Father.
Oh, absolutely. I'm here for you always, Horace. And don't forget that coupon's valid all year.
Yeah, send that over to the station.
All right, I will do. Blessed be the fruit.
That's all for me here at Nightdrive this evening. I can't help but feel there's an air of mystery blowing over the town in the wake of the mayor's disappearance. But, that could just be the Gulf winds blowing over the render farms, bringing in all that gator stink. I'm really not sure what the best case scenario is here. The mayor turns back up. Frankly, I'm wondering if him disappearing isn't what's best for everyone, including his widow. Though I don't think anyone is really hoping to find him dead, but you never know. For updates on this story, as well as all the comings and goings around Fakahatchee, please visit the FakahatcheeGazette.com. That's FakahatcheeGazette.com. Nightdrive is produced by Michael Truly and is hosted with an air of mystery by me, Horace Wexler. The callers were ably played with a belly full of fire by Casey Redmon, CJ Meeks, and Ron Babcock. I'd like to thank our lightning callers, Andrew Inns and John Martinez Jr., as well as extend an air high five to our musical guest, Lady Plish and the Uh-Oh Boys. If you enjoy the show, please consider reviewing and giving us 5 stars on iTunes, or better yet, tell a friend about us. 1 a.m. in the morning is a hell of a time slot to capture new ears. You can reach the show on Twitter at NightdriveFM, on Instagram at NightdriveFM Insta, or at Facebook.com/NightdriveFM. If you really love the show, why not become one of our patrons and support the show at Patreon.com/NightDrive. That'll give you access to our Discord as well, where we post important info for callers who'd like to call into the show. Plus, we do a running gift tournament, and frankly, it's just been a really nice community to have as we all end up further and further entrenched in our houses. Also in the Discord, I've been slowly audio producing an old Spider-Man game book from 1985 that the community can listen to and play along. And Patreon will also give you access to some other Patreon-only shows like Dinosaur, the only podcast about the 1990s fever dream that was ABC's sitcom Dinosaurs. Frankly, I'm always very behind in actually getting that out the door. Good Morning Sunbuns with Tiffany Bunzell takes over tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. She'll be joined by absolutely no one as she's locked herself in her studio to get the upper hand in contract negotiations, but she'll show you the top 7 ways to make your sell more celebratory. Until next time, here's 4.5 hours of government-mandated buzzing I've been told I'm required to air. Until next time, I'm Horace Wexler. Keep night driving.